this is a little bit of an idea or a visual of what Meet a Lifeguard is. And I think in this occasion here, Philly and I went out to Broadmeadows, I think Kangan TAFE, and it's becoming more and more popular now with orientations. And one university, for example, might have 2 or 3 orientations in a year because they're running shorter courses. So in this situation, Philly's delivering to about 100 people. And it's very, very interactive. She brings out the uniform, she dresses up people. You know, we've got the sort of the safety equipment there. So it is a little, it's a lot of fun as well. And look, we do it in big venues and we do it in small venues. But the people that are running it, they are qualified lifesavers, hence the name Meet a Lifesaver. Now here's other situations where I think Philly here was actually at Swinburne to the left, and it was a small group of, I think, engineering students, and they were coming from all over the world for that. And in the top left-hand side, Scotty there we're in one of our life-saving clubs, and it happens to be a school group. And actually, we coincided that Meet a Lifeguard with a beach program. Aims. You know, obviously there's tertiary institutions, there's high schools, but we're also AIMS is one that have hopped on board, and there are many groups that have only been in the country 2 months or 6 months. They're learning English, and we'll go in and we'll have I guess an AIMS version of it as well. This is the beach programs. We've got 50 odd different life-saving clubs around the beaches of Victoria. I've got, over the last couple of years, I've been able to get a handful that I guess more switched on about the need to, I guess, they want more of an inclusive attitude at their clubs for multicultural groups. And Edithvale's one, Altona's another, Sandridge in Port Melbourne, there's another 3 that are going to come on board this year. So I actually try to have the activities down at these clubs. So this is Sandridge near our head office. And sort of how it works is, as you mentioned, Manil, it can sort of be customised depending on who the organiser is, but typically you get your beach tour, and there are like a number of different activities that will happen at the beach. It could be a couple of dry activities, and while a couple of dry activities are going on, there might be a couple of water activities as well, 2 or 3, and they rotate every 20 or 30 minutes. Usually it's split up with a bit of lunch or a barbecue. For example, a lot of the African groups love their volleyball and their soccer, so they might have beach volleyball or beach soccer. I can see a great potential here for a bit of beach cricket. And look, I think, ultimately too, if, I guess traditionally life-saving is seen as a bit of an, blonde-haired, blue-eyed sort of area, which is not me obviously, but what we think that if we can get more groups into our pools and our life-saving clubs, then people from those communities, like for example, if Munil goes out and he gets himself trained up as a lifesaver, and he's then able to go out and talk to his community, then I know myself, having spent many, many years abroad, that if all of a sudden I was to have seen an Australian talk in a foreign country, in maybe one of the associations that I was involved with, I'd probably pay more attention. I'd certainly have it delivered in a language that was clearer to me and in a setting that I was more comfortable. So this young lad here is Minty, and he's from Afghanistan. He was involved in our beach programs, I think for the first time a couple of years ago, and he sort of stepped up a few months ago, actually just at the end of the summer, and said, look, I wouldn't mind becoming a lifesaver. And now Minty will actually be fantastic when this next summer comes along, because the Afghani community is no different to many communities. They don't have the water knowledge that they need, and Minty's going to be a great role model to be able to use for him and I to work together and to get that message across to more people. Now this is a timeline that Munil mentioned, and I guess over the last time we met was about a couple of weeks ago, and it was asked, well look, how do we fit in this timeline with the stuff that we're interested in? So therefore, having spoken with Nigel and our COO, and then also getting back to Manil. We looked at, I guess the main focuses over the next couple of years is international students and India. And the CALD stuff, culturally and linguistically diverse projects, I'll just continue to go on and do that as I have been doing for a number of years. That'll continue. And those projects are all based on funding and different funders, different government bodies, different groups, whatever. Now down the track, it was mentioned that you may want to broaden into the wider multicultural community around Melbourne, Victoria. There's always going to be opportunities for that. And we run programs that are swimming programs, we run stuff that is leisure centre based, pool based, combinations of all of the above. So there's all sorts of opportunities to get involved with that, but I think probably the main thing at the moment is get established and focus on the things that are most important here at the moment, which is the international students and India, the Meter Lifeguard, the beach programs that I've mentioned. I think that if anybody gets it, we've had, a month ago, went to Box Hill TAFE and did a Meter Lifeguard there, and at the end of it said, look, and by the way, if anybody's interested in doing this sort of thing, if you want to get involved with a life-saving club in your year or two that you're here in Melbourne, then by all means you're welcome. And we had 8 people come up to us at the end of that session. So I think it's important that we offer even a training pathway, so that it'd be ideal that if somebody like Philly or Scotty did a Meter Lifeguard, it would be great if somebody from the community could then also contribute to that and for example, add that story. I guess Meter Lifeguard are qualified lifeguards. So if then you take the next step and you're able to deliver Meter Lifeguard by yourself, then it would require the training that other volunteers around Victoria go through, which how many hours would it be in total, Nigel? Probably 30 or 40 hours or thereabouts, in which case, and a lot of people, as a lifestyle choice, would like to do that because it's a good fun thing to be involved with lifesaving. The other thing is that you guys run the show, but we'd be more than happy to assist in the development of resources, and I think that certainly something along the lines of Read the Beach, a visual DVD or CD-ROM, something that could be used to assist the Meter Lifeguards, or when you're having a break at the beach programs, if you had something like that, we'd certainly support the making of something like that. And of course, promotion. I'd imagine that you want to build up some momentum with this and get as many people involved with it as possible and let it out there. Life Saving Victoria would certainly would side with you on that, and if we've got the opportunity, we would also promote it as well. As far as India is concerned, Nigel might even comment a bit on it in a minute, but we've already had exchanges with India specifically in the past. We've got sister clubs, and we've got clubs that were involved at the time, which I think was a year or 2 years ago, that even prior to meeting you guys had said, look, is there any chance that we can get that up and running again? So it was good timing. I think that this DVD development here would be really good back on the India side, particularly on the points of departure, whether it be airports, whether it be at the high schools, whether it be at the language schools, or whether it be at the universities, so as, I guess while initially there's a lot of emphasis here in Melbourne, in tertiary institutions, if you've got a CD-ROM, then that's something that it's very easy to get back to India and very easy to distribute. Not sure if I've got too many other slides. Okay, that's just a pic there of the exchange that occurred a year or 2 years ago, and we had a few guys come over, and they assisted up with a club, Fairhaven, and they've expressed interest to do it again, and we're more than happy to support that again. That's it. I might, Nigel won't talk as long as Manila myself, but I will introduce you to Lifesaving Victoria's CEO, Nigel Taylor.